Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I thought I would actually just get out in the wilderness because this is typically what I do in the mornings. Today I've done it a little bit differently actually. I usually get up first thing and try and get some steps in. As you know, I'm pretty sedentary for most of the day. So even when I go and train, I might get in 4,000 steps on a good day. And then I might do a 5 or 10 minute walk as a cool down or a warm up. And that would be it. I'm like literally just walking from my car to the office and I stand in front of my computer. So today I'm actually going to go for a bit of a walk, in fact. And before we do that, however, I want to run through my update for last week because there was a little change. So I'm going to go through and I guess tell you about it. So let's have a quick look at that. So jumping into carbon here for this week's check-in. So I'm going to go in and see whether I was actually compliant or not. So you can see here on the screen, I actually did a really good job at keeping within my calories, which is a good thing. You can see there the range is 1837 to 1927 and I was dead in the middle. So it's asking me to enter in my weight for the check-in day. So that was actually a couple of days ago now. So it was 68.7. Does everything look okay? I'm going to hit yes. And check-in complete. It's saying, looks like things didn't go as planned. Your weight has gone above the acceptable range. So it's actually dropped my calories down a little bit, which is so disappointing. Truly it is. So I'm going to actually make a little bit of an adjustment here to my macros because based on what it's displaying, it's pulling up my old protein target, which is 141 grams per day. But I prefer to have lower fats and higher carbs. So I actually just slid that into a better ratio that suits my food preferences. So we'll jump in and have a look at my compliance, I guess, from a day-to-day look from last week. So you can see there my check-in day is Tuesday through to Monday. So throughout the working week, I'm so consistent. Like I'm right in that 1650. In fact, I sometimes don't actually get to eat all my calories. So you can see on Sunday, I have a beautiful day at 2900. I definitely ate a bunch of good stuff on that night to kind of make up for my deficit. And then I did the same thing again. I still had 2134 left on Monday. So I definitely had to play some catch up. And as a consequence, my weight was a little bit higher on my way in on Monday morning. But that's to be expected because it was actually trending down during the week because I was eating less. So looking at my protein, you can see that is pretty consistent until Saturday. That was 78 grams. I was with friends on Saturday down at the beach and we basically just had cocktails and I didn't really prioritize my protein, but then got back on it. It's only one day. It's not the worst thing. Like I'm not prepping for something, so I would be a little bit more pedantic if I was. Carbohydrates. Okay, so again, pretty low throughout the week. You can see they're 163 on Friday, then up to 222. And that's because I track my alcohol like specifically or exclusively as a carb. So that's why it was a little bit higher on Saturday. And then you can see Sunday way up, 266. I think I definitely enjoyed some ice cream, actually multiple bowls of ice cream and brownies and all the good stuff to make up for those calories. So fats, again, you can see midweek kind of bumps around a little bit depending on what I eat. I don't actually have a set routine, but I do have favorite foods that I eat when I go to work. And then my dinner is often the one that changes. And that's why I have some fluctuation. I try to be flexible. Wow, 120 grams of fat on Sunday. So again, lots of ice cream, the fully loaded stuff, all the brownies. So that's why it was so high. And that's something I'm really having to get used to because it does cause weight fluctuations and it does mean my sodium goes way up. So I kind of look like a watermelon the next day after, but I know, I trust my body that it's going to do the right thing. So you can see there my weight trend throughout the week. We can look at there at 68.7. It kind of trickled back down and stayed pretty stable towards the end of my compliant week. So overall, weekly average was 68.9 and I'm meant to be maintaining 68. So that is why the coach has actually brought my calories down. So we'll have to see how that goes this week. I'm very curious as to what happens. I think when my calories come down, I probably, if I'm consistent, I think that they will result in a bit of a drop. So we'll see. All right, so something that I really wanted to address with you guys this week is getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. So I actually have a few new clients that just started with me a couple of weeks ago. And it's been a long time actually since I've had new people start. I haven't had a lot of new clients. I've been trying to not do as much one-on-one work, but it's always interesting just kind of observing their fears and their trepidations and the challenges and things that, I've been through and a lot of my clients have been through as well. And it is this fear of gaining body fat. And there are so many people, and the two people that I'm thinking of, their calorie targets, like right now, their maintenance calories are very low. And they wanted to lose body fat. And they're already doing a lot of exercise. They're training 5 or 6 days a week. They're doing the right stuff. They're doing their resistance training, not too much cardio. But the only place for them to go in order to lose more body fat is less calories and more exercise. And they're already kind of reporting, feelings of stress. They've got busy, high stress, very demanding jobs. One of the ladies has a little toddler. Husband's a pediatrician and, works a lot. So I kind of said, we could do fat loss. We may get 4 weeks in and we'll get a little bit of change, but then that's it. Where do you go from there? So I kind of pitched the idea of, okay, let's actually focus on a reverse and get your metabolism to a better place so that we actually have somewhere to pull from. Because right now it's like you're pouring from an empty cup. So yeah, I think her biggest fear was the change and not wanting to go through this period of being uncomfortable because she already feels uncomfortable in her skin. But I want to tell you something. Sometimes you have to go through that. I spent all of 2020 uncomfortable. All of 2020. I knew I had really big goals for building a bigger ass, bigger legs, and I put on 27 pounds after my shows in 2019 because I knew that I had to be consistent at eating more and eating and training hard with a good amount of calories in order to facilitate my long-term goal, which was to build my butt and get bigger legs. So, I think so many people don't want to do the hard work, and there becomes a point where you're going to have to bite the bullet if your metabolism and your maintenance calories are low and you're already uncomfortable. Do you really want to maintain that forever? At some point you have to make that change. So, even doing a short little stint of fat loss, whilst you might lose 1 or 2 kilos and you might feel a little better in your clothing for a couple of weeks, that wouldn't be sustainable there. You're going to have to reverse out of it at some point. So if you are somebody that's in that situation and you may feel uncomfortable in your skin, but your calories are already hard, there's already a lot of work, I really encourage you to get comfortable with that discomfort because it is incredibly rewarding if you can sit with that for a little while. Heck, I sat with it for 12 months. I did not love what I looked like in 2020. It was uncomfortable. I had to go up a clothes size, but that was a good decision. I'm glad I went and bought a new wardrobe because then I felt comfortable in the clothing, at least that I was wearing. It wasn't like me squeezing into things that didn't fit. But now coming out of that, I'm at a place where I'm happy with my body fat, which is all I could have ever wanted. And my calories are okay, but I wouldn't have been able to get there if I didn't allow myself to put on a bit of body fat in the off season, get my calories up, restore my metabolism to its fullest potential, you know, in order to get to my long-term goal. So yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about this week. Yeah, I think there's so many women that are just afraid of making that leap. So if you are somebody that wants to make big changes, get after it. We do have a reverse diet setting on Carbon Diet Coach. The beauty of this is you get to choose exactly how much weight you are comfortable with gaining each week. You set that number, no one else, and the coach will keep you on track with that number. It will not let you exceed it. So you take it at your pace. You may even switch over to maintenance after 5 or 6 weeks of reversing and just hang out there, but don't rush back into fat loss because you feel scared or uncomfortable because you don't like how you look in that moment. You will get used to it, and it's okay. What's the worst thing that can happen? Nothing. So I would highly encourage you guys, if you're thinking about it, you're on the fence, use the app to coach you through it and hang out there for at least 6 months and just give yourself enough time to make those positive body composition changes, because building muscle does not happen overnight. It doesn't happen in 4 weeks. It happens in months and years. So it's work that needs to be done. So just go for it. It's so rewarding at the end. And I think that's really all I've got for you this week. So guys, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment. I do go through there and check, and I try to respond to as many of you as I can. Have a great week, and I will see you at my next check-in.